Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first Direct Solar Wholesaler Talks session, where we are filming ourselves discussing topics that might be interesting to purchasers of solar or people who aren't too familiar with the industry. And we're exploring a few common pitfalls to help you avoid making those mistakes that we see consumers make every single day. So I'm Mark, I'm the Business Development Manager. We have Jack, the founder and CEO, and we have Jared, the sales director. All hands on deck. So the first topic or point that we see consumers making that gets them in a bit of hot water is that they simply don't understand their energy needs, and they're just making a purchase based on price. So for example, they might buy a standard system like a 6.6 kilowatt system. They think they're saving money because it's cheap up front, but in the long run, it's not big enough or hasn't been designed properly, et cetera, et cetera. Jared, could you maybe elaborate a bit on this topic?
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. It's a big one, honestly. There's a lot in this. There's companies out there that they really just have a cookie cutter approach. There's no conversation, there's no seeking to understand, there's no getting to know the customer, not just for now, but for the future. What are they planning? What's happening in their home? What changes are they going to have? What does their energy load look like in the future? You know, power doesn't get cheaper; it only gets more expensive. So, having a proper, meaningful discussion with anyone in this space that's looking to do something solar, battery, energy, home energy, it needs to go beyond right now, you know, and it needs to go beyond, you know, just simply the one-dimensional power bill right now. So I guess to push that a little bit further too, you know, what do we do? What do we do that's different? Why are we different? Seek to understand, honestly. Just have a really good, meaningful conversation. Find out what people want. What are their goals? Some people are happy with just reducing their bill. Great. So solar is probably going to be a really good option. Some people never want a power bill ever again. That's a different conversation, right? So we can achieve that now, but we need to understand what the future looks like as well. And, you know, again, there's companies out there that don't care about that, and they essentially have a one size fits all, and they're just looking to sell very, very cheap. So lots and lots of systems. And that's it, really. It's all based on price. There's no time investment. Anyway, I could probably keep going. That's maybe enough to answer that. And you can, if there's anything there that you want to dig into or ask me, please do. Yeah,
I do have one point. So it really sounds like, obviously everybody knows solar, or maybe they don't know, solar is quite a competitive industry. And what you've said there kind of, it makes a lot of sense to me, but also it sounds like it really is up to solar companies and providers to lead and guide the clients or the prospective customers to the right and best solution. And it sounds like a lot of providers are just trying to get a quick sale. You think that's something that's symptomatic of the industry?
100%. Yeah. One, you know, just, you know, yes.
Yeah, you know? And I guess this leads into point two as well. And I'll just continue, just mindful of time. The second point we have here is that the consumer hasn't done enough research about the company that they're working with. And it leads directly into that. So they're just going to take the advice, and there might be a really good sales guy on the other end of the phone. And I think sometimes you'll have a dodgy company who has a really likable, good salesperson, and sometimes they're none the wiser about what's going on the technical side. So it's a little bit the blind leading the blind. So they'll buy a system and there's no after sales support. So there might be a warranty, but that's it. Once you've closed the deal, you can't really pick up the phone because the sales consultant is on to the next customer, and they literally have no support systems in place. What kind of support systems do we have in place? And I might toss it over to you, Jack. What kind of support systems do we have in place for aftercare once the consumer has purchased a solar system?
Okay, that's a very good question, Mark. I think I've been in market so many years, and then we come across so many install the system for customers, and come across lots of customer. They got a system installed, but no one look up to them anymore. They got a question, they got a problem, they just like left in dark. So that's very bad in solar industry. I think there's a regulation, but there's no like really enough regulation in the solar industry. So there's so many companies, and then they don't care really customers. As you said, they probably good at selling, but they don't know the technical part. The system really like you got a panels, inverter, but the most important thing I would say, people buy from for the quality installation and then the good after sales support, which is the most important part. The panels, there's like a brand difference, but the most important thing set apart. You can like really rely on the system, give you the savings, is the quality installation, and then after sales support. Whatever good brand you buy, like Frones, Tesla, if you like got a system installed very badly, then the system still gotta keep giving you lots of troubles and issues. You can't guarantee the savings, you know. So overall, I would say if you ask me, let's say put 100% for the importance of the system. So I would say 40% importance of the brand. You choose good brand, and then I would say 30% of the importance for the installation, the quality installation, and then the rest of 30% is for the after sales support. So we do recommend the consumers, they do research about the company, not only focus on the brand selection. Most importantly, focus on when the company starts and the reviews, and then how they treat their customer, if they go through really design a system properly for you. So this is a very important thing. Like we do, I think the very important thing is you gotta build a very good relationship with the brands you install, so you can quickly get a support from the manufacturer. And then the manufacturer, they support those like people do professional, and then they have like kind of volumes as well. So they always get a quicker response or warranty support and such a thing. So we build very good relationship with the brands we install for the customers. And the other thing is like for company side, we have dedicated people always look after the customer systems and tech support. So we have people like doing this like a very important job.
So thanks, Jack. So I think what I'm hearing is something that we do quite well is that where a lot of companies are very focused on the sales aspect and getting the sale, we have a longer customer journey where the aftercare and the service, we're really building relationships. We're not just like, okay, we've sold you a system, see you later. This is a relationship where it doesn't matter how long it's been after you've purchased your solar system, if it's within the warranty period or however long it is, and Jared, you might be able to enlighten me on that, you can always pick up the phone and there's someone dedicated who wants to hear what your problems are, who wants to find a solution, and who's not just trying to charge you for that time.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Cool.
I'll probably add one thing here. Lots of companies in the industry, like the service finished when the installation finished.
Yes.
So actually what we're doing, the service just started when the installation finished. So that's totally different. So you buy really the 10 years, the service contract, it's not just like a one-off purchase.
Yeah, and I mean that leads into point 3. I feel like we've already covered it, which is that they didn't monitor the system to performance after install. You see, I think a lot of consumers, when you first start learning about solar, it's very overwhelming. You've got to think about panels, batteries, inverters, and this and that. And I think that what a lot of consumers suffer with is just information overload. So they get it in there and they think, right, I'm done, I've got my solar, but they're not properly monitoring it. They don't install their apps. They're intimidated by the technology, and that's quite natural, but we're here to help. And points 4 and 5. So point 4 we have here is they just checked reviews from one platform. I mean, look, I think that's something we don't need to dive too deep into point 4 because I think that's something that consumers often struggle with. They might just read reviews on a company from one website. We've been around for a little bit longer, so we have vetted reviews, we have testimonials, and I mean, I know, Jack, you like to be humble, but we have damn awards. So,
yeah, we do.
I think it's good to own that.
Yeah. One thing I want to share a little bit here regarding the reviews. We've been saying lots of a company have a 1,000 reviews, 2,000 reviews, right? If you look on the Google reviews, so I don't have, I don't want to say that, but it's actually there's lots of Google reviews, fake one.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So you better cross-check all like a SoloQual, which is they lots of real reviews there, and then product reviews and Google reviews. You're gonna cross-check all the platform and see the reviews, and don't only focus on the good reviews. You better look at the better reviews. Okay. So you look at the company when the things happening. So how the company gonna look after look after customers, and how they what's their attitude to solve the problem, right? If you're saying like a reviews bad and no customer support surveys, and then you better be like careful and a little bit cautious for that.
Yeah, perfect. So point 5, and I feel like we're pretty much done here, is point 5 is that the consumer didn't fully understand how solar and the battery works, especially the battery system. And I think we've kind of covered it, but does anyone want to add anything to that point?
Probably not. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I believe solar and battery is one of those things that you don't want to be conservative about. Get the right advice. Probably go a little bit bigger than you think. Won't cost you a whole lot more money to do it right the first time. It'll cost you a lot more to try and change it or add on or segment a system in the future. I've met many people that have had 2 and 3 goes at solar, and now battery, is going to be similar, because people are going to go too small or not integrate them or retrofit them or go for cheap stuff. It won't give results they need. They'll be too small. So again, I feel one of the biggest things and one of the biggest takeaways that's come out of this little discussion, and it's a connector in all aspects of what we do every single day, but for our customers as well. I think it's one of the most important things is it's about, for us, it's genuinely about connecting and forming a relationship. We have that as a team. We have that with our supplier network. And we have that with our customers. And if we have that with you and you have that with us, we're all going to get a better outcome, and we're all going to get along and be around for the greater good.
100%.
Which is, if we wind out, we zoom right out, we're all on a big old planet, aren't we? And we got to look after that as well. And this is just one way to do that, while looking after our daily household as well, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. Well saying, Gerard. Regarding this part, probably I will just add a little bit to this, how to fully understand the solar and battery works. So basically, we're going to understand like how the energy flows, like the load and from the solar to charging the batteries. That's very basic. But what I want to point out is the battery has lots of it to do. They can charge from the grids. And then lots of states, they start like time of use. So during the middle of the day, the rate's pretty cheap. So you can charge from the grid to the battery system. Even some energy retailer, we have a partner energy retailer, if the system were installed, and then they even offer like between 11 and 2, that's free energy. So we are helping customer, especially in winter time. We can set up the charge from the grid from 11 to 2, make sure the battery always fully charged. Right, this is one of the function you can take advantage of if you know how the battery is set up. If the company will teach you how to use these, that will give you more savings.
Yeah.
Right? So good system and understand how your system works, and then also if you can find the good energy plan, which you can take sort of advantage, and then your savings will be definitely more than the others.
And I think that ties into the topic of education, which is one of the reasons we're embarking on this quest to make weekly content. And I think for our first video, I feel like that went really well. So I'm going to wrap it up here and say thank you, Jack. Thank you, Jared. I guess we're going to be uploading this to our social medias and starting something interesting on LinkedIn. And if you're watching this and you like our vibe and you want to know more about solar, please hit us up. Please feel free to leave comments, likes, share. And if you feel like you'd want to join us in a conversation at some point in the future, we will be doing things like that. So we're open to ideas.
Nice.
And I think that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Great.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jack.
See you.
Easy.
Jack.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.